The wealth game is rigged, but there's a cheat code 90% of people never learn. It's called the 5 levels of wealth, and if you don't understand them, you will never escape level 1, ever. Here's what nobody tells you. Most people spend their entire lives trapped between level 1 and level 2. They work until 65. They hope the pension holds. They hope nothing goes wrong, and they quietly accept a life they never actually chose. That sounds like a nightmare to me. I'm Finn, your finance buddy. Years ago, I was drowning in level 0. I couldn't afford groceries. I was making decisions based on fear, not logic. But I climbed out, step by step. And today, the system I built covers my living expenses, without stress, without panic, without depending on a boss. I'm not a billionaire guru. I'm not selling you a course. I'm just someone who escaped. And today, I'm giving you the complete map. In the next 23 minutes, you'll learn all 5 levels in detail. Where you are right now, where you need to go next, the exact mistakes that keep people stuck. And at the end, I'll show you the bridge, the mathematical principle that lets you jump levels faster than you ever thought possible. But first, pause right now and comment your level, 0 through 5. No shame, just honesty. Because knowing where you are is the first step to getting out. Let's press start. I remember level 0 like it was yesterday. It was a Tuesday afternoon in March. I was standing in line at the grocery store with a few basics in my cart. Bread, eggs, a frozen pizza because it was $2.99, a jar of peanut butter. Nothing fancy, nothing unnecessary, but my brain was racing. Because I knew my bank balance, $14.37. And I knew this was going to be close. I watched the cashier scan each item, the numbers climbing on the screen. Bread, $2.49. Eggs, $3.99. Pizza, $2.99. Every beep felt like a countdown. She rang everything up, looked at me with a smile. $42.50. I swiped my card. Declined. My stomach dropped. The person behind me shifted their weight. I could feel their impatience. The cashier's smile faded slightly. She looked at me with that expression, that mixture of pity and annoyance that I'll never forget. I smiled and said the classic lie. Oh, the chip must be dirty. Let me try again. I wiped it on my shirt like that would magically create $30. Swiped again. Declined. The chip wasn't dirty. I had $11.37 left in my account. I was $31 short of feeding myself for the week. I mumbled something about forgetting my wallet at home, put the cart aside, and walked out of that store with my head down and my hands shaking. That is level 0. Debt greater than assets, mathematically underwater. Your liabilities outweigh everything you own. If you stopped working today, you wouldn't just be broke, you'd be ruined. You'd owe more than you have. In level 0, your net worth is negative. For me, it was negative $8,200. Credit card debt from emergencies that weren't really emergencies. A car loan on a vehicle worth $3,000 less than I owed. Student debt I couldn't think about without feeling physically sick. But level 0 isn't just financial, it's psychological. It rewires your brain. Every unknown number that calls your phone feels dangerous. Every envelope in the mail feels like a threat. You don't plan your life, you react to it. You make decisions based on survival, not strategy. You say no to social events because you can't afford them. You avoid conversations about money because you're ashamed. You lie about why you can't go out. You isolate yourself. And the worst part? You start believing you deserve this, that you're bad with money, that you're fundamentally broken. If you're here right now, in level 0, there's no judgment from me. I lived this. I know how suffocating it feels. I know the shame. I know the fear. But you cannot stay here. And here's what you need to understand. The goal of level 0 is not wealth. The goal is survival first, then escape. You have to stop the bleeding. That means cutting everything that isn't essential. And I mean everything. No streaming services, no subscriptions, no eating out, nothing. You sell what you can. For me, I sold my guitar, $200. Old textbooks, $43. Gaming console, $120. Every dollar went to debt. You work what you can. I picked up weekend shifts. I delivered food. I tutored high school kids. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't fun, but it was necessary. For me, it took 9 brutal months. 9 months of rice and beans, oatmeal, peanut butter sandwiches. I ate the same meals every single day because they were cheap and I didn't have to think about it. My friends stopped inviting me places. My social life disappeared. I spent Friday nights sitting in my apartment watching free YouTube videos about personal finance. But every 2 weeks, I watched that negative number get smaller. -8,000, then -7,000, then -6. And then one day, I checked my net worth spreadsheet and saw a number I hadn't seen in years. Positive $473. I had reached level 1. Solvency. Your bills get paid, your card goes through at the grocery store, you can breathe again. Your net worth is positive. Maybe it's $500, maybe it's $3,000, but it's not negative anymore. And this is where most people make a fatal, devastating mistake. They think they made it. The pressure releases, the stress fades, and their brain says, you worked so hard, you deserve to celebrate. You deserve that nicer apartment, that better car, and they upgrade everything. They move to a place that costs $300 more per month. They lease a car with a payment that eats their budget. They start living like their future self instead of their present reality. And then, inevitably, something breaks. The transmission fails, a medical bill arrives, and one emergency later, they're right back at level 0. I almost made this mistake. The moment I hit $2,000 saved, I started looking at better apartments. My place was small and old, and the heater barely worked. I found a spot that was nicer, cleaner, newer, only $250 more per month. My brain said, you deserve this. You worked hard. You've been living like a monk. I came within 1 day of signing that lease. But then I did the math. $250 more per month is $3,000 per year. Over 5 years, that's $15,000. $15,000 that wouldn't be invested. I stayed in my crappy apartment, and I'm so glad I did, because solvency is not success. Solvency is just stability. It's the starting line, not the finish line. To escape level 1, you have to do something most people never do. You stop using your checking account balance as your emotional scoreboard. You start tracking net worth, real net worth, assets minus liabilities. And the goal is simple. Make it go up every single month. You set up automatic transfers. 10% of every paycheck goes straight to savings. 20% if you can manage it. You make it automatic because willpower runs out, but systems don't. You build the machine that saves for you. And you resist every urge to upgrade your life. You keep your expenses low. For me, I stayed in that apartment for another 18 months. I kept driving my beat-up car, my income went up slightly, my expenses stayed flat, and every dollar of difference went into my savings. $3,000, $5,000, $8,000, $10,000. And then one day, something shifted. I reached level 2, stability. Your emergency fund exists, not just a few $100s. 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in a high-yield savings account earning interest. Your debt is under control or completely gone. Something breaks and it's annoying, not catastrophic. I remember the exact moment I knew I was stable. My car's transmission failed. I was driving home from work and it started making this horrible grinding noise. I pulled into a mechanic shop, they ran diagnostics. The guy came out wiping his hands on a rag with this apologetic look on his face. He said, your transmission is shot. It's gonna be $1,200 to fix it. 3 years earlier, that would have destroyed me. Panic, fear, credit cards, sleepless nights. This time, I just nodded. I opened my phone, I transferred $1,200 to checking, I paid for it, and I went back to work. My emergency fund went from $8,000 to $6,800, and I didn't even feel stressed. That's stability. It's walk-away power. It's sleeping through the night. It's the ability to say no to a bad job, a bad boss, a bad situation, because you have a cushion. In level 2, your net worth is somewhere between $10,000 and $50,000. The exact number depends on your cost of living, but the principle is the same. You're protected. You don't get here by being flashy. You get here by being consistent. Boring systems, automated savings, index funds instead of individual stocks, long-term thinking instead of get-rich-quick schemes. Most people live their entire lives between level 1 and level 2. And listen, there's no shame in that. Stability is an achievement. It's more than most of the world has. But if you want more, if you want actual freedom, you have to understand something fundamental. Levels 0, 1, and 2 are defense. They're about protecting yourself. Not losing, surviving. Level 3 is offense. This is where you start winning. If you're still watching, you're serious about this. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss what comes next, because this is where everything changes. Level 3 is where your money starts working. Your investments generate real income. Maybe it pays rent. Maybe it covers groceries. Maybe it just handles utilities. Not everything yet, but enough to feel the fundamental shift. For me, the moment came on a random Wednesday morning. I was sitting at my desk at work, doing something I can't even remember, probably answering emails, something boring. My phone buzzed. I glanced at it. Notification from my brokerage account. Dividend payment received. $512. I stared at that notification for a solid 10 seconds. Nobody around me noticed. My coworkers kept typing, my boss walked by, the office kept humming, but I was somewhere else mentally, because I had just been paid without trading my time, without a boss approving it, without clocking in, without doing anything. That's agency. In level 3, your net worth is somewhere between $50,000 and $300,000. The exact number depends on your cost of living and your investment returns, but the principle is universal. A portion of your life is now paid for by assets instead of labor. You're not free yet. You still need your job, but the fear starts to fade because you have real options now. You could take a lower-paying job you actually enjoy. You could negotiate harder. You could take a month off between jobs without panicking. You have leverage. But level 3 has a massive, insidious danger that derails most people who reach it. Lifestyle creep. You start earning passive income, and immediately, almost unconsciously, you increase your spending to match it. You move to a nicer place, you buy a nicer car, you take nicer vacations. And all that sounds reasonable. You worked hard, you deserve nice things. But here's what happens when you spend your investment income. Your investments stop growing. You plateau. You get stuck at the bottom of level 3 forever. I watched a friend do this. He reached about $60,000 in investments, started earning about $2,000 per year in dividends, and immediately he upgraded his apartment, started eating out more, bought a nicer car. 10 years later, he still has about $60,000 invested. He's been stuck at the exact same level for a decade because he ate the seeds instead of letting them grow. Here's the rule that saved me. It's simple, it's not sexy, but it works. You don't eat the seeds, you let them grow. Every single dollar of dividend income I received, I reinvested. 100% of it. Every dividend bought more shares. Those shares generated more dividends. Those dividends bought more shares. Compounding. It's the most powerful force in finance, and most people never harness it because they can't delay gratification long enough. I kept my expenses exactly the same. Same apartment, same car, same cheap meals. My income went up. My investment income went up. My expenses stayed flat. And the gap between what I earned and what I spent kept widening. And every dollar of that gap poured into the machine. $20,000 invested became $40,000. 40 became 70. 70 became 120. The growth accelerates. It compounds. It feeds itself. But only if you don't touch it. Only if you stay disciplined. And eventually, if you stay consistent, you reach level 4. Financial independence. The math is beautifully simple. Take your annual spending, multiply it by 25. That's your freedom number. If you spend $40,000 a year, you need $1 million invested. You withdraw 4% per year. That's $40,000. Your portfolio grows on average 7% per year after inflation. You withdraw 4%. The remaining 3% keeps your portfolio growing. You never run out. This is the 4% rule. It's not theory, it's math that's been tested across every market condition for the last 100 years. Independence isn't yachts. It's not private jets. It's not what you see on Instagram. That's not independence. That's expensive dependence. Real independence is time. It's waking up on a Tuesday without an alarm. It's spending an afternoon at the park with your kids on a Wednesday because you feel like it. It's saying no to anything that doesn't serve you. It's choosing what to do with your one wild and precious life. When I reached level 4, I didn't quit my job immediately. I wanted to make sure the math was solid. I wanted to see my portfolio sustain itself. But the feeling of knowing I could quit, that I never have to work for money again, that I only work because I choose to, not because I have to, that's the most incredible feeling I've ever experienced. I still work, but now I work on projects I care about. I say no to anything that doesn't excite me. I take Tuesdays off because I feel like it. I spend mornings making videos like this one, helping people understand what I wish someone had taught me. That's independence. And then there's level 5, abundance. This is where money stops being the point. You have more than you could ever spend. You think in decades. You think in generations. You build things bigger than yourself. You fund scholarships, you start nonprofits, you help others climb the same mountain you climbed. In level 5, your net worth is typically $5 million or more. But honestly, the exact number doesn't matter anymore because you're not thinking about numbers. You're thinking about meaning. I'm not there yet. I'm in level 4, but I'm building toward it. Not because I need more money, but because I want to help more people. I want to fund scholarships. I want to help others climb out of level 0 the way I did. Maybe I'll get there, maybe I won't. But I understand the mindset now. And that brings us to the most important part of this entire video, the bridge. Most people obsess over the wrong things. They obsess over which stock to pick. Should I buy Tesla or Apple? Should I invest in crypto? Which guru should I follow? They're looking for the secret, the hack, the shortcut. And here's the truth that nobody wants to hear because it's not sexy. Wealth is built by one thing, the gap. Income minus expenses. That's it. That's the entire game. The wider your gap, the faster you move through the levels. The narrower your gap, the slower you move. Let me show you the math. If you earn $50,000 per year and you spend $48,000, your gap is $2,000. At $2,000 per year, it'll take you 5 years to save $10,000, 25 years to save $50,000. You'll be stuck in level 1 and 2 for decades. But if you earn $50,000 and you spend $35,000, your gap is $15,000. You hit $10,000 saved in less than a year. $50,000 in 3.5 years. You move through the levels at 7 times the speed. The gap is everything. Now here's the critical insight. You can cut expenses, but only so far. You can't spend negative money. There's a floor, but you can increase income without limit. There is no ceiling. And here's what changed everything for me. Skills increase income. Income widens the gap. The gap fuels investments. Investments buy freedom. The entire chain starts with skills. I was earning $40,000 per year in my first job out of college. I was grateful, but I was barely saving anything. So I stopped trading time for money and started trading value for money. I learned copywriting. I took a free course online. I practiced every day. 3 months later, I landed a freelance client, $500 for a project. That client referred me to another. My income jumped to $60,000. I learned sales. I read books. I practiced. I got better at communicating value. My income jumped to $75,000. I learned marketing, how to understand what people want, how to position solutions. My income hit $85,000. Same hours, different skills. And here's the crucial part. Every single raise, I didn't touch it. When I went from $40,000 to $60,000, I didn't upgrade my apartment. I didn't buy a new car. I automated the entire $20,000 difference straight into my investment accounts. My lifestyle stayed exactly the same, my savings rate exploded. That's the bridge. Increase income through skills. Control expenses through discipline. Invest the gap aggressively. Repeat. Let me give you a real example. My friend Sarah. Sarah was a teacher making $42,000 per year. She was stuck in level 1, barely saving. She learned graphic design on YouTube, free tutorials, 2 hours per night for 6 months. She started taking freelance projects on weekends, $200 here, $500 there. 1 year later, she was making an extra $15,000 per year from freelance work. She didn't quit teaching, she just added income. She kept her expenses exactly the same. Every dollar of freelance income went straight to investments. 2 years after that, she had $50,000 invested. She reached level 2, then level 3. She's now 4 years into this journey. She has over $130,000 invested. She's 31 years old. At her current pace, she'll hit financial independence by 42 because she understood the bridge. Skills, income, gap, investments, freedom. I know this feels big. I know it feels overwhelming. But you don't climb the mountain in one step. You just reach the next checkpoint. If you're in level 0 right now, don't think about financial independence. Just aim for level 1. Get to positive net worth. Stop the bleeding. Get to 0. Then get past 0. If you're in level 1, aim for level 2. Build an emergency fund. 3 months of expenses, then 6. If you're in level 2, start investing. 10% of your income, then 15, then 20, one level at a time. And never forget this, the system wants you stuck. Credit card companies want you dependent. They make billions from interest payments. Banks want your fees. Car dealerships want you locked into loans. Lifestyle influencers want you buying things you don't need. The entire consumer economy is designed to keep you on a treadmill, working to buy things that make you feel better about working. It's a trap. Saving money is rebellion. Investing money is rebellion. Buying your freedom back $1 at a time is the most punk rock thing you can do. So tell me, where are you right now? Comment your level. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. No shame, no judgment, just honesty. And if you want the exact lazy portfolio that took me from level 2 to level 4, the simple 3-fund portfolio that now generates enough passive income to cover my living expenses, I'm breaking it down step by step in the next video. Subscribe so you don't miss it, because I'm going to show you the actual funds, the actual percentages, the actual strategy that got me to financial independence. You can do this. I promise you can do this. The game is beatable. You just needed to know the rules. You just needed the map. Now you have it. I'm Finn, your finance buddy. Now go level up.